how has your relationship with your body changed as you've gotten older?
I would say I probably take care of it more than I did when I was younger, a lot. But obviously now that I'm powerlifting, and obviously you've got to keep fit, you've got to fuel your body. I, I tend to look after it a lot more.
And when did that switch happen from, were you doing sports from a younger age, or did you just decide to get into powerlifting?
No, well, I've suppose I've always been, like I've had horses and obviously loved being outside. And then I decided to go to a leisure centre, go into their gym, which we just had a PT. And then a girl that was there was doing powerlifting, which I obviously didn't know what that was. And she said, "Why don't you do a comp?" And obviously that's how it started. But then COVID come, so it's sort of like, well, no one could do anything, to be fair. And then after that, then I started to get into it seriously.
Okay. Her saying, "Why don't you do a comp?" Was that because she saw that your lifts were fairly good for your age, or was that just an experience sort of thing?
I think it was because I used to like watching her do sumo deadlifting. And I thought, oh, I'd really like to try that. And then obviously as we got, like we trained together, and then we decided, because she'd done one competition, and she said, "Why don't you try it?" And I did, but I didn't like it because there's a lot of, you don't just lift, there's a lot of cues and commands.
Right.
And obviously you have to do all of them to obviously get good lifts. So that was a bit hard, but you do it.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising because usually I guess people look at powerlifting as kind of a boring sport mostly because it's very, what's the word? It's kind of stretched out because it's like, these are the 8 weeks you need to do the programming, and then it's this lightweight, and then it gets slowly heavier and heavier. It's a patience game at the end of the day. And a lot of people are kind of drawn away from that. Yeah. What was it in particular that kind of drew you in to powerlifting?
When I started, obviously properly, and I got myself a coach, and then we was doing programs. Then you start to understand how hard it can be, but as well how better you can get week by week. And then obviously come to comp day, it's just amazing what you can do. It's just amazing. All that hard work, and it is hard work. It's very hard work. People think that it's not hard work. It is very, the comp's the greatest thing ever, but the work leading up to that is, and can be, hard.
Yeah, I've noticed. You injured yourself recently, didn't you? And there was a whole recovery process with it. And I guess what I'm trying to understand is, like, I always imagine myself when I'm getting into old age that I'll still be going to the gym.
Yeah.
I'm young now, so I haven't had that many issues with recovery. What's recovery like when you do get older?
Recovery is and can be really hard, but if you surround yourself with a good team and you eat properly, you stretch properly, everything, this is obviously for me, everything becomes regimental, and you have to do I feel that I have to do the things, because if not, it can be hard. Yeah, it can be hard.
Yeah, the one thing that you mentioned there was community. And I feel like I've spoken to so many people about this, about like, oh, why do you go to a private gym? Or why do you go to a gym that isn't like pure gym or the gym group anymore? The main thing that I tell people was always about community. And you notice a big difference, especially even like bigger, but at least if it's a private gym, it's not a commercial gym. The community that you build in those sort of areas is just so much better than you would when you were to go to a commercial gym. It has such a big effect on, I guess, your training and longevity as well.
Yeah, it's the thing is, obviously at the gym that I go to, I call them the youngsters because obviously they're the young ones. And obviously then there's like, I mean, I'm probably the oldest one in there, but then you get the ones that are younger than me. But every single one of them, I know that I could go to any one of them for advice, just to talk. And they all have good things and helpful things to say. Everyone in there wants to help people. They're there for everything. They're good. They inspire me being me, but they do, because it is a great community. I think anyone could walk in there and leave knowing that they've had a good time spent with good people, because that's what it is. But I do believe that all the smaller gyms and like the gym that I go to, it's the best. Pure gyms, and I've been to pure gyms. The one that I used to go to was a nice pure gym, but there are some bad gyms, and I know that people, they wouldn't get the welcome and the help that they obviously would need. They wouldn't feel, I think, as confident going back to somewhere like that. Yeah.
One thing that I was thinking about when I was writing these questions for you was, I guess everyone has sort of an idea of what they see in their head when someone says old person, and society, I guess, has a sort of view about that. Like you see in purported in movies, in shows and stuff, like there's a sort of idea based around it. Maybe not someone who could pursue their dreams, but someone who's kind of already lived life and is just saying. And I don't agree with it, but do you think that view on old people is changing in society?
Yes, I do, but there needs to be more, probably people, I suppose, like me, that want to do something with their lives. I've had and have had an opportunity to do, I think, better for myself, healthier, living, doing things that I probably would never have done, going places that I would never have done on my own. And I just think you're as old as you feel.
Mm.
And if someone wants to just get up and sit around, watch telly all day and just do nothing, then that's up to them. But there is another world out there, but they've got to find it. There's things out there for everyone. You can get up and go for a walk around the park. You can do so many things.
Yeah, I think you make a really good point there about you're as old as you feel.
Yeah.
Because one thing you do notice, especially, say for example, like I sometimes get caught doom scrolling. So on TikTok, just scroll, Instagram, scroll. Like when you're just sitting there not doing anything all day and you spend a whole day maybe not going outside, right? You feel way older and more tired than you actually are. So I wonder whether when people do get to that certain age where they feel as though that they just want to sit back, they probably still have a lot of life energy in them. But because of the actions past that, because they think they've done it and they figured it out, when they sit back, they maybe get a feeling of feeling older than they actually are.
Yeah, it's true, because but some of them people, I feel, do not have anything to give them the confidence and for them to think that they can get out and do that. Some people could be depressed, could be just can't do these things. But you can. If you put your mind to that, no matter how old you are, you can be ancient. Some lifters, I've got to tell you, that I've seen, they're like in their 70s and 80s, and they would put some young people to shame. They are so strong, so healthy, so just full of life. They're just really, they're just good. They're just really healthy people.
Why do you think that is? They don't feel as though men not have the confidence to do something different.
Because I think a lot of people get set in their ways, and I think they, again, don't realise that there is a life out there, and that it's easy to go out and get.
Mm.
It's not hard. There are so many places. There's so many things as well that people can do. So to me, if people say, "Oh, I can't do this, I can't do that," that's a bad excuse, because you can.
Yeah, I think when people say a particular thing like I can't do this thing, at least in my head, they've kind of already convinced themselves that it isn't possible. So one of the things I like to say is there's, I think it was Naval Ravikant, he said, forget about the labels that you put on yourself because they can be very limiting.
Yeah.
So I like to say, if you call yourself an introvert, you're likely to not go to speak to other people as much as you want to. You've called yourself an introvert, so you won't be good at it. So if you just forget about labeling yourself as I can't do this or I can't do that and just go do it,
Yeah.
you might find something new within that process.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, maybe they lose confidence when they get older. I mean, I probably did, but then again, I've had to sort of get on flights to, obviously, I think the first one I got on was to go to Canada on my own, and like, it's frightening because I've never had to do that on my own, but it was an experience, and if it was afterwards, the sense of achievement that you've got through doing it, it's amazing. It just fills you. It's good.
Yeah, there's what that reminds me of. There's this in a book that I read, Die with Zero. He talks about this concept called memory dividends, and it's essentially the joy and fulfillment that you get after having an experience. So it's like interest paid on investment through your memories.
Yeah.
So through experiencing new things, not only do you get the joy and fulfillment of having that experience in that moment, as life goes by, you get more joy and fulfillment after remembering that memory itself.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people get stuck in this thing that I came up with called regret dividends. So it's the despair and sorrow that you get from the regrets that you've gone through. So interest paid on investment through your regrets. And I think a lot of people have a bunch of regrets about not doing particular things, which means that later in life, when they look back at that moment where they regretted something, they then regretting that thing, which then wastes more time, and it's just a constant cycle.
Yeah.
Which then the solution to that would be memory dividends, which is doing more things that give you joy and fulfillment.
Yeah. And also going out and doing it.
Yeah.
Because you can still do it at whatever age. This is the thing. You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, I guess people think that there's like an upper limit. Like I can only do these things at this age and only do these things at this age. And as much as I understand it to an extent where it's like, maybe when you're 60, you haven't got the youth when you're 20 to be able to do backpacking in the middle of Thailand and live in youth centers.
Yeah.
You may not have that, but it doesn't mean that when you're 60, you shouldn't go out and still do other things. It's not like it instantly gets cut off by that point.
Yeah, it's true. Age is just a number. Age is just a number.
In one of our conversations before we had this episode, you did express to me your concern about older competitors like yourself not getting the visibility that you may deserve in the sport. What does that feel like from your perspective to work just as hard or even harder than some of the younger competitors and not come with the same support?
You know what? With obviously the team, the GB team, the coaches are fantastic. It was more, I suppose, the recognition from our federation, and I've just felt that the open lifters, some of the juniors, they get more recognition than us. But the thing is, we put in more, if not, we put in as much, if not more, to get what we get out of the competitions. But also that we are older, but our competitions are as exciting and as good as theirs. But it just seemed last year, maybe a year and a half ago now, I'd say, we've got more recognition where we're actually in there. They're giving us more advertisement. I would say they're giving us more airtime. They do a lot more now for the comps that we're in, the Masters. So that's good. I'm glad of that. But as I can, the coaches have always been obviously really good, but I felt that we could have had more from the federation. But as I said, that's changed now, so it's good. But we're always working. The Masters, lifters, everything that goes on behind the scenes with everyone from the ones that warm us up to the ones that spot us. It's just that they're a team that we love and they understand us.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's nice to see that there's been a little change, because I would even argue that your competitions are more impressive. Like it's always amazing to see older people get into the sport and doing as great things as they are doing. And sometimes you even see lifts that are more impressive than the younger lifters. So it's kind of strange how there's less recognition towards it, even though it's as or even more impressive some of the time.
And the thing is that all of the lifters that you get to see sort of like in your weight classes and that you see at comps, even their coaches, they are all behind you. There's not even any bad blood, or it's such a the community's spirit, and well, it's not the community spirit. We'll cut that one out. It's just how can I say? It's just like everyone is there for everyone. That's it. Everyone's there for everyone. Yeah. And it's such a great feeling. It is a good feeling.
Yeah, it always goes back to the idea of community.
Yes.
Literally changes your perspective on and everything, because it's great to go on your own, but it's even better to go with someone else. You move further with other people.
Yeah, it's true. I was thinking of today, obviously thinking of what we was going to be talking about, and it's mad because I've got my family, I've got my 2 daughters, my grandchildren, my husband. I've also got my unified family, and I've also got my GB family. So you got like 3. It's fantastic. It is.
Yeah. That is.
It's love.
Yes. Why do you think the sponsors tend to overlook older athletes, even though the commitment, as I've said, the commitment, the effort have been the same? Why do you think they end up overlooking them?
You know what? I can't answer that question, because again, I think that there are some fantastic Masters lifters in Masters 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got like 70-year-olds that lift. It's well, I just don't know. I do not know why they don't. Did you say sponsor?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know why they don't sponsor, because at the end of the day, all they've got to do is maybe sponsor one man or one woman, one master woman and one master man. Job done.
So on that question, when I was writing it, my thought for it was, I think there's this sort of inclination towards rising stars, right? So, and I thought it was strange because there was a pull towards younger lifters who could possibly become something, but it was a pull towards something that hasn't even happened yet, even though there are your guys' stories and your guys' persistence and resilience in the sport that has happened and is happening, gets kind of overlooked for people who are going to do something, which I found was really strange.
Yeah. I mean, obviously because I'm a Masters lifter, I did think the same, to be fair. I did think that there are like there's loads of youngsters coming through that are fantastic. They are lifting weights I cannot even believe. And to be fair, the open lifters, most of them, they're fantastic as well. And they do give a good comp. They do, they're really good. but I feel it's the same people. That's not putting them down or anything, but it's there's not anyone moving on to obviously take over from the Opens, but I suppose it's because they've got to get older.
Yeah.
And then by the time they're that old, whereas the Masters, they go from sort of, I suppose, from Masters 1 to Masters 4. And I do think because we're older, that maybe we do get forgot about, because where do we go from like a Masters 4? Yeah, we can carry on lifting, but where are we going? Are we still going to get the recognition that obviously every single one of them deserve? I don't know. I don't know whether I'm being biased, to be fair.
Oh yeah.
I don't really know, but I just feel that we could, for what we all put into it, and there's a fair few Masters, you know, I think even to be two, as I said, two people, two Masters, a man and a woman, to be sponsored would be fantastic. I think that would change it a little bit for us.
Yeah, has that ever been the case where
No,
people in your age group been sponsored?
no.
Because I know I was looking when I was the more that I thought about this, I was thinking not even only in terms of powerlifting, just in terms of companies sponsoring people who are older, and in the I guess in the gym community.
Yeah.
I don't think I've really seen it.
Yeah, no, they I really don't know. Obviously I'll just get on with it. It did used to, when I first started, and I noticed that we obviously didn't get as much advertising, as much, like we just didn't get we didn't get the recognition that we should have done. And then going to the comps and seeing like how we've done. I mean, we've won the team events at most of the Masters, Euros, Worlds. Like that's good.
Yeah, those are big deals. Yeah.
that's like big things. And yet it's just nothing. I feel like it's nothing, but obviously maybe, I don't know.
Well, I guess you just have high standards for yourself, don't you?
Yeah, but I also think that everyone deserves applause, because they're all fantastic, and they're all old. They're all older. That's the other thing. They're older. So yeah, I feel that anything they can get, they should.
Yeah, it's because one thing as well is that there's always like a big applause for people who tend to be inspiration to other people. So it's like you have it mostly, say, like in ethnic diversity, if you have an Asian lifter doing really well, they're a big representation for the Asian community.
Yeah.
But then when we think about in ages, like we have a bunch of people in their young age who are representing the younger people as well, and they can look at them as inspiration, but it's because they've been represented that way so that other people can look at them with that sort of inspiration. I think it's as important to represent you guys because it's so that other people in your age group can get that sort of inspiration as well. I think a lot of people let that slip out their mind.
Yeah, it's also, talking about this has made me think as well that a lot of the junior lifters, like the younger ones, they've all got like Instagram, and they have got obviously sponsors, so they're putting themselves out there a lot more.
So we did speak a lot as well previously about how people, and we have also in this conversation, how people can still do the things they wish to do regardless of their age, and the fact that it's never too late to start something. Talk to me a bit more about that.
Well, I started, so I would have been 50 odd. I think 50 odd when I started lifting. And obviously, I can't think, it was probably late 50s that I was picked for Great Britain, to represent Great Britain. And to be fair, I'd been in the gym and done PTing, like with a PT, and then I obviously found a gym. So what I think I'm trying to say is that even starting at 50, even older than that, I feel that if you want to do something and you set your sights on it, you can do it. I don't think age should come into it, because I'm fitter than I've ever been in my life, I would say. I've always been, because I've always like had horses, I've always been an outdoor, kind of like an outside person. But it's just you get stronger in mind, in what you think, how you feel. You get confidence, you get better, you enjoy life more. I mean, I don't know if I couldn't, obviously, when I was injured and I had to have an op to, obviously, on my knee, like when it first happened, my whole world fell apart, because I didn't want to be sitting on a chair. I didn't want to be resting. I didn't want to do anything that it probably would have been good for me. But obviously my mindset now is to get up, don't fall apart, don't give up, get up. And there was times when I didn't want to get off the set, I'm not going to lie. And there was times when I didn't want to be in the gym, I didn't want to do anything. But again, this is where the community comes into it. Your friends, your coach, people that know you, they lift you, they obviously give you a plan B. You go out and you do that. And I remember when Shah gave me my first, it was like just a program or things to do for the week that I went back to the gym, waiting to have the op. And just getting that just made my day. In fact, it made my week, because I felt needed, I felt wanted, I felt that there was something that I could do, even though I suppose my body and my mind were saying, you're not going to do that no more. No, you're not going to do it. Give it up. It's no good for you. You can't do that. You can't do that. You're never going to get better. Your knee's done. But each day, each week is good. I'm coming back.
Yeah, it's just like that. You enjoy the idea of building something, regardless of how small the steps are. It doesn't need to be, there's a grand gesture all the time where it's like, oh, I'm doing these really big lifts to build up something. As long as you're doing something to push you forward, that is worth it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people get stuck on this idea, like, I need to have this grand gesture. It needs to be perfect. It needs to go exactly how I expect it to. But they refuse to understand the idea that small steps are your path to the bigger ones.
Yeah. Tell me whatever in life goes fine. Nothing in life goes fantastically. It just don't do that. There are bumps as I found out, there are bumps in the road. You just got to get through it. Once you get through it, again, you surround yourself with people that care, you'll be good. You'll be good to go.
So it's this idea that, good times may not last forever, but bad times don't last forever either. So
yeah, they don't. It's all good. I think you know that you do need people. You do need people around you. You do need people around you, but you need good people. Good people bring good things.
Yeah. You also talked about the how doing all this powerlifting and getting into something that's active has improved your mindset for particular things. I guess you could say it provides you some sense of youth in a way, where it's like we spoke about earlier how people not doing anything that's different or active in their days is a factor contributing towards why they feel so old. But then doing something like powerlifting or anything sport related, literally anything that you put your mind to, then you can provide yourself a sense of youth in that way.
Yeah, I think it's because you've achieved something, and you can be as good as a younger person. You can do as good as a younger person. And it's how do I say, yeah, you don't like, when I go to the gym, I don't feel that, although I say they're youngsters, and obviously me being older, but when you're there, you don't feel that way. You're all doing the same thing. You're all the same.
Yeah.
It's so weird, because I think you've got to come into it and see it to feel it.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling. It is good, and I think it just makes you feel good for the next day, and good in yourself. You feel fulfillment.
I guess with the what was it? Accomplishing something and the fulfillment. I wonder, what I was thinking about when you're saying that was, I think maybe people will have like a lack of purpose in that way, because
Yeah.
I would assume that when you talked about your injury and how your mind was telling you that, oh, it's done, your knee's out of it, and as soon as Shaw gave you something, it was the happiest feeling that you've had. It provided you a sense of purpose. Like, it told you, this is what you're supposed to do. And maybe, I guess people struggle with that a lot, where they don't know what their purpose is.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do. So it could also be a reason why, when you said a lot of older people, why they don't get into it, is that they may be a little depressed about things. But that's maybe like a reason contributing towards that, maybe the lack of purpose.
Yeah. I think because I've never been injured bad, to have this happen, like, Marv, I'm not going to lie, my world did fall apart. But I've known people, obviously, that I follow on Instagram, and who are my friends, that have been injured, and obviously they've had to come through, and I've always thought, oh, they're fantastic the way they've come through. They've got, like, starting again, they're now lifting again, they're doing great. So I had to, even though I felt like I didn't want to do it, because I knew that it might not, I don't know, I just had a feeling that it wasn't going to get better, or I was done. But I'm thinking every older person must probably have that mindset, because we are older, everything probably takes a lot longer to heal. But to be fair, I don't think that's the case, because I think if you're fit, healthy, strong beforehand, I think you'll be good to get through something as good as a younger person, but only because you're probably fitter and you've got probably a better mindset than I did as. But it has changed, because obviously it's getting better each day is better. But it has made me think now about, obviously, people that I know that have been injured and that they come back. That's a big thing, and I've taken my hat off to them.
Yeah.
They inspire me as well. Everyone inspires me.
That in itself is such a great mindset. I love telling people that every single person you meet has a piece of the puzzle, like a piece of the pie of life. It's just that it may be a thin piece of pie, maybe a big piece of pie, but regardless, it's a piece of pie that can help you to somewhat understand life.
Yeah.
So at least that's what I like to tell people. Everyone that you meet knows something you don't know. And I guess that this works with the same way. It's just like everyone you meet has something to inspire you with.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I've been to competition, and people come up to me and said, "Oh, I'm so glad to meet you," and I'm like, I did once look round, because I thought they talking about me, and I was like, "Oh, okay," and she went, "Yeah, can I have my photo done with you? You inspire me," and I was like, oh my God, if I can inspire you, if I can inspire a few people, some people, to go out and to get fit and to lift and not worry about how old you are, and just go and do it. Find a gym. I'll help you find a gym. There's so many people that, obviously, we all know, we can put them into contact with. If they're frightened to go to a gym, if they don't want to go to a gym for whatever reason, we can find you one, but go out and do it.
Yeah.
and you will inspire me.
That's amazing. Going a little into maybe why people when they get older may not want to experience new things. The only reason I think about this so much is because when I've read the books 4,000 Weeks by Oliver Burkeman and Die With Zero, they talked a lot about the sort of things you'll end up doing when you get into old age. And I think and it's all about experiencing things now and doing the things that you want now instead of waiting till later. Stop putting things off, essentially. When I thought about this, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you disagree with me on this. But I find that with age, people, I like to call this thing, they'll gain this thing called like old age syndrome, which is essentially this level of stubbornness that's driven by life experience. So because they've lived this grand life, they believe that they found the most efficient and best things for them. And as much as I have respect for people who are older than me, like yourself, I still have this sort of distaste for that belief that you've found the best thing that works for you. Because if you tell yourself that you found everything that you need, you kind of cut yourself off from experiencing things that you haven't tried that could be better than the things that you've already found, because you've kind of set the belief that you've already found everything you need, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think that, again, you could, I feel it's what your life has been like. If you've had what I'm going to say is a hard life, where you've had to do really like hard work and probably never had holidays, never just worked, brought your family up, you've never had, I suppose, happiness and gone out and done anything, because you've always probably been tired and all that. I do believe that some people like that could possibly give up, not give up, but just, oh, we just want anything for a quiet life now. We just want to sit back. We don't care about going on a holiday for the first time in so many years and whatever. I think they're content to stay, just to grow old and die. Then I think you get the people that I feel like, I suppose, my generation, or just a bit before, a bit younger than me now, they're coming through and they're living life. They're not like, oh, we don't care whether we can't afford it. We're getting somehow. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's true. You never know what's around the corner. I actually think when COVID came, COVID probably done a lot of good for some people and a lot of bad for some people, because the ones that give up just give up. The ones that didn't. But then I think new people come through that thought, you know what, we're going to live. We don't care. So it's like you've got, there's different ages of, and how people feel, I think, now to what there was when you got to 60 or 70. That was it. Your life was done. But now it seems that it could just be beginning.
Yeah.
It's because, like, what are 70, 80-year-olds now? 70 or 80-year-old people are still walking around like full of life. Before, like, when I think of like what my nan was like, my nan was like in a wheelchair, crumpled up. That's how they was then. It's like they're not like that now. They seem to have got, unless I don't see them, but they just seem to, they don't get that bad anymore. They probably could die of maybe something else. That's why I think they go out and they do live life now, because I don't think they die of old age now. Something could, like, they could get cancer or something like that, could kill them before their time, if you get what I mean.
Right.
Whereas if you're older and like 80 or 90-year-olds, they tend to probably just probably sit out in the garden, and because they can't do anything else, but they're still here, if you get what I mean. But they're not then the crumpled up like that you see in nursing homes and all that. Maybe we should cut that one out.
I think that's. I totally get what you're saying.
It's just like that. I don't know, it just seems a different world now. From COVID, it just seems different. It's not how it used to be, I suppose, when I was growing up, that you get to a certain age and like everyone left home, and then your mum and dad, that was their retirement, was like having no one at home and just being able to relax and rest until, I suppose, they sort of died. But now it's different. It's like everyone does whatever, no matter what. Like they just go out and they get it.
Yeah, I wonder if COVID kind of flipped a switch in people where it was like things could change just like that.
Yeah.
And also how I guess it gave more of a appreciation for doing something else, because we were all trapped inside. We had nothing to do. So I guess it gave more an appreciation for doing things that was outside of just your own vicinity.
Yeah.
So I guess that's maybe part of it. And you mentioned how like life could start just anytime when you decided to.
Yeah.
There's this one quote, and I keep forgetting who it's from, but it was a man and woman live two lives. One is when they're born, and two is when they figure out when life starts. It's something like that. They live two lives in that way. Yeah, so I totally agree, where it's I see the shift as well, where people are doing things that that used to be the ordinary before COVID, completely different now. And I see people, I guess, living life a bit more to the fullest than they used to.
Yeah, that's what I think, Vansh. And I think a lot of people are doing what they want to do as well, not potentially what they have to do or they need to do. They're living life. They're living life.
Yeah, you see people pursuing, things that aren't, I guess, the typical path. A lot.
Yeah.
Like this podcast, or people trying to become professional in the sport, or people becoming writers. Like people are taking different paths than what was typically seen as unusual. It's now been seen as more of a normal thing for people to do.
Yeah. 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 I think people are probably, I feel, well, I'm going to say they're a lot nicer. Some of us. No, they are. They're I'll maybe take that one back as well, because it's funny, because when I moved to where I live now, it's funny that one day I went out in the morning when I was walking the dog and I thought, let's see what these people are like around where I live, and it was like, good morning, and they would look at you like that, and I think, okay, there's not a lot that say good morning back, but I do believe as well, Rach, that they probably just want to get to where they're going as well. Some people ain't got no time, but I don't think it's bad to just say good morning, is it?
No.
But then you sort of guess, you think, was it good to move to where I moved? But
it's strange. I wonder why. I just wonder why people are like that. If someone said good morning to you, it's not out of like.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, no, it's like a nice thing, but it's the way I think they look and think, why would she say that? But that's just out of politeness. But it was just to see as well if anyone would say hello.
But you did make a good point there about how maybe they just wanted to get where they needed to go.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea to look through other people's perspectives about why they did a particular thing.
Yeah.
I think we get so hard stuck on, oh, they did this thing, they're a horrible person.
Yeah.
But we just forget, like, oh, what if I was in that place with everything that's happened to that person and everything they're feeling right now, with everything that's gone on in the day, would I feel the same way? Maybe. So I guess it can give a bit of heed to the fact that maybe we shouldn't be so harsh on people who are like that.
I agree with that one. The thing is, you don't never know what people are going through. You can look at someone, you can be someone's friend, but you still don't know what they're going through. And yeah, it does make you realise that you can always ask, are you okay? I always do. If I feel that if I'm in the gym or wherever, if I feel that someone's not their self, I'll always ask if they're all right. If they want to talk to me, they can. But I've learned never judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, that's
never, ever, because I did used to do that a lot, but I've stopped now. No, because the thing is, I'm normally good with people, the vibes I get off of them, but there's been some times when I've been wrong and I put my hands up to it, that I've been wrong about someone, and I do take it back. But that's why I don't do that no more.
Yeah, don't judge a book by its cover. One of the more cliche pieces of advice, but frankly, it's strange. It's the more consistent, repeated piece of advice that we were told when we were younger tends to be the things that we should still stick by when we're older. I think a lot of people forget about that.
It's easy to understand. I think those quotes like that or words like that, it's easy. Anyone can understand that.
Yeah. One thing that keeps going through my mind when we did speak about how I think maybe to an extent this sense of feeling old is a mindset, maybe. The reason I say this, there's this one quote from Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and he says, "It is not true that people stop pursuing dreams because they grow old. They grow old because they stop pursuing dreams." And it's just this idea that, I guess, as you said, there's no age limit on pursuing something that you want to pursue. And I think maybe there's a lack of support and around pursuing something that's like pursuing your dreams. That's a bit different when you get older. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I do believe that if you, I'm talking for me, you've got to have people around you that are going to have some part in you pursuing your dream. I don't think, unless you can do it on your own, you need people around you. You need people to say, yeah, that's good, that's not good, this, that. I do think you need that. But as for, again, I honestly think that anyone can do whatever they want to do, whatever age. If you want to do something, I mean, me, if I wanted to do something that was out of the norm, I'd go straight onto I'd Google it, find out if it was one of the most maddest things ever. But then I feel that you could always find someone who knew something about what you wanted to do. Yeah. And if it was something that you couldn't do, accept it, move on to the next thing. But I really don't believe if you've got your health, even if you haven't got your health, if you can walk, if you can think, if you can, you can do anything.
Yeah,
I honestly feel you can do anything.
I kind of feel the same about a lot of things. Just as long as you are consistent and you put your mind to it that you're going to do this thing, you're going to get that thing. One thing I wanted to bring up about the community thing was I think if you surround yourself with people, like if you're someone who's older and you surround yourself around young people who are active and doing a bunch of active things, you're going to eventually start doing active things.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? But if you, an older person, you don't surround yourself around those people, you kind of sit inside all day, you're going to keep sitting inside all day.
Yeah.
So I think all it takes is walking to somewhere on a fairly often basis and spending your time around people who are doing active things or who are doing the thing that you wish to do. And then eventually across time, you're going to end up doing that thing.
Yeah, it's true. It's as, like, even down to obviously the youngsters in my gym. I think it's just being in that gym with all of them is good enough. Because again, they're all like, I think they've all got ambitions. They've all got lives. They've all got they've got so much, I feel, going for them. But they're and a lot of them don't give up. That's the other thing I don't like. They keep on and on and on until they get what they want, which is, I suppose, what everyone does in life. If at first, yeah, if you don't get it first time, you try again, and you try again, and it's the getting up and the trying again that makes you then get it. You don't give up. You can't give up. You have to keep going.
Yeah, there's no choice.
Yeah, you have to keep going. You have to.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Moving on to a different topic branch now. You have been married for some time now, haven't you? How many years has it been? Too long.
Right. It's well, I'd say over 35 years we've been together.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Yeah.
I guess there's no better person to ask for relationship advice than the person who's been one for 35 years.
Not me. No.
Well, if you did have to name 3 things out of everything that you know on keeping a long-lasting, somewhat healthy relationship, what would the 3 major things be? And as in, like, if there wasn't one of these, then the entire relationship would be down the...
Well, I've always said that our relationship is possibly a love-hate relationship. I don't know whether that's got us through, Vanch, but what I have found out very recently is that communication is the key. Because if you don't communicate, little things can get bigger and bigger and bigger until in the end you just want to just go, because it's not good. It gets toxic. It's just a waste of life. I feel that we've probably spent most of our life ramming and it not being good when it could have been good if we'd have communicated more. But then when someone thinks that they know better and the other person feels the same and no one gives, then that's obviously where the fight comes. So I think both of us have learned to listen, to communicate, and I also think that you got to probably do just take time to do things together as well, even if the other person don't like do things together. Obviously I'll do gym. My husband did do gym, but now he comes to the gym and he has PTs there, so it's a lot better than what it was. It's a lot better than what it was. Could I give you 3 things?
So communication, doing things together.
One more. And I suppose not giving up again. Maybe not giving up.
Yeah,
not giving up.
I think a lot of people always keep this sort of eject button in a relationship where it's like, oh, things aren't going well, let me just get up out of here. But
I think like understanding as well, Vanch. The thing is, I think when you're younger, and see, my mindset has changed from when I was obviously younger, when we had children, and obviously the life that we lived, it was very chaotic. It was we only had a small circle of friends. So therefore, when obviously we moved and we moved on, if you get what I mean, it did get better, because then you learn to, when the children got older, they obviously went off to school. I just probably got a life outside of being a mum, a cook, a cleaner, someone who looked after the husband, the home. Like, that's changed a lot now. People don't do them things. That's like, oh my God, did you do that? And even there, I think, oh my God, did I do that? Yeah, I did do that.
Yeah.
But I've changed, and I think my husband also accepts that I'm not going to be how I was, if you get what I mean. I'm not going to be the housewife indoors who cooks dinners and cleans and washes and this. But I'm going to get a life, and that's what I've done.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I read into the book that I'm reading right now is The Evolution of Desire by David Wilson. He talks about like the evolutionary psychology, biology of humans, right? There was this one quote which I found was really funny. I think it was women get into relationships thinking men are going to change, and men get into relationships thinking women won't change. They're both wrong.
That's true, actually.
And I think as much as that's a funny quote and an aphorism for relationships, if there can be a mutual understanding between the two that, you know, we're both going to change as people.
Yeah.
We're not going to stay the same. It's up to both of us to grow alongside of that. It's not, change isn't bad if you reframe it as growth.
Yeah.
So yeah, I find it strange that people get annoyed about change in relationships, because I think when you're getting into it, you should have the intention to understand that both of you are going to be different people.
Yes. And that's the thing. I think for a lot of people, when there's, obviously, if you've not, like, if I didn't do powerlifting, what would I do? Would I still be that person indoors doing virtually nothing?
Mm.
A housewife. I don't even think there was such a thing as a housewife. Them days are gone, thank God. But yeah, it is. I think it's understanding, and yes, people are going to change. Accept it.
Yeah.
Accept it.
One thing also, I think people, there's two things, right? I think love first of all doesn't consist of gazing at each other the entire time. It's about gazing outward in the same direction that you both are looking at. It's like you both are looking at where we could go instead of where we are now. And it's just like, I guess you're looking at this person, and then inevitably you're going to start thinking like, oh, this is the things that are wrong with the relationship, and like argument and all that. But instead of, when you do that, instead of looking out where you could move the relationship to go together, that's where I think the resentment comes. And I think also there's this thing called the Michelangelo effect. So the famous sculptor Michelangelo, there was a block of marble which was told to be sculpted into the Angel of David, and many sculptors had previously tried, and they weren't able to sculpt out the Angel of David. It came out really messed up. It didn't look how they wanted to look. But when Michelangelo was asked to do it, instead of carving it and then shaping it as he went by, as every other sculptor did, he saw within the marble block the Angel David, and then carved away everything that wasn't David. And the Michelangelo effect is related to a deep friendship or relationship where both of you look at each other and try to bring out the best in one another. You see who they could be, and you carve away everything that isn't who their best version is. And I think taking that sort of mindset in account for relationships can help both of you grow into better individuals, instead of looking at it as they're like this, and then just kind of flaying about.
That's pretty good. I like that one.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did. That was quite interesting. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a good way to dictate your relationships, to think that both of you are trying to bring out the best in each other. I think, was it the most basic way to put it, you're both trying to make each other happy. That's it.
It's true. Yeah. And you can search for that for years, and you still find out things now. You're still finding things out now. Yeah, but yeah, we'll be together forever. But it's got better.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? As long as you're willing to work with each other.
That's true.
When I had Marcus on the show, I read him Richard Feynman's love letter to his wife. Have you read it?
No.
No. I will read it out to you. I did warn him beforehand that it was incredibly sad. So
Oh, don't mention.
so let me bring it up. October 17, 1946. Darling, I adore you, sweetheart. I know how much you like to hear that, but I don't only write it because you like it. I write it because it makes me warm all over inside to write it to you. It's such a terribly long time since I last wrote to you. Almost 2 years. But I know you excuse me because you understand how I am. Stubborn and realistic. And I thought there was no sense to writing. But now I know, my darling wife, that it is right to do what I've delayed in doing, and that I've done so much in the past. I want to tell you I love you. I want to love you. I always will love you. I find it hard to understand in my mind what it means to love you after you are dead. But I still want to comfort and take care of you. And I want you to love me and care for me. I want to have problems to discuss with you. I want to do little projects with you. I never thought until just now that we can do that. What should we do? We started to learn to make clothes together, or learn Chinese, or getting a movie projector. Can't I do something now? No. I am alone without you, and you were the ideal woman and the general instigator of all our wild adventures. When you were sick, you worried because you could not give me something that you wanted to and thought I needed. You needn't have worried. Just as I told you then, there was no real need because I loved you in so many ways so much. And now it is clearly even more true. You can give me nothing now, yet I love you so that you stand in my way of loving anyone else. But I want you to stand there. You, dead, are so much better than anyone else alive. I know you will assure me that I am foolish and that you want me to have full happiness and don't want to be in my way. I'll bet you'll be surprised that I don't even have a girlfriend, except you, sweetheart, after 2 years. But you can't help it, darling, nor can I. I don't understand it, for I've met many girls, and very nice ones, and I don't want to remain alone. But in 2 or 3 meetings, they all seem ashes. You only are left to me. You are real. My darling wife, I do adore you. I love my wife. My wife is dead.
That's sad. But I felt every bit of that, Vanch. It's that could be my husband writing that letter. Yeah,
Yes.
sad.
When I spoke to Marcus about this letter on the show, he had this really great idea about it, and it was about not caring about what other people thought of the relationship. The fact that it's only you two at the end of the day. So whatever it is you want to do for them, just do it, regardless of what other people's opinions are on it. And I get the sense that we enjoy this comfort that our partner provides us, but as much as we may feel it, we may not express it as much as we should.
Yeah.
And when we do, we realize that it makes this other person's day brighter. The fact that there's this level of appreciation of them being around. And I guess the idea that I went to come across, and that Marcus had from listening to that letter, was that whatever it is that you want to do it now. There's no point of waiting.
You know what? It's true, because obviously anyone could be writing that letter to anyone, man or woman, to be fair. And it's true. It's the lost years, Vance, you got to go. They're forgotten about. I suppose if you could start from, say, I don't know, 5 years back of how your relationship possibly got better, start from there. That'd be fantastic. But I do believe everything in a relationship from when you're in one is a learning curve. You learn all these things along the way. And even now, for 35 years on, you're still learning. So in that respect, but that sums it up, because even, I can get Marcus saying about, obviously, with his relationship and how he feels about that. And also I can see from the point of view of not being able, that's probably not being able to communicate. And obviously, but I also believe that putting it in letters or even a text can sometimes be better than saying.
Yeah, just at least bringing it out.
Yeah, it's not good, because but sometimes when you've got a person that you can't finish a sentence because they obviously have to come in with something else, then you forget, then you get frustrated because you can't remember what you was going to say, and then it just blows up from there.
Yeah.
Vanch. So obviously it's it's a good way of communicating, and that is a nice letter. Yeah, that is that's good.
Yeah, I find it, I don't know, I'm not really too sure how to feel about the idea that even 35 years down the line, you're still finding out things about each other. Like, a lot of people would kind of assume that, I don't know, you can get to know someone completely after a couple years of knowing them.
Yeah.
But
it's because, like, I suppose because you've got more time, Vance. You're not, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Yeah, I mean, obviously we're in and out, indoors and whatever else, but we do talk more now. Talking is a good thing. Talking is good.
yeah, because it just links to the communication
factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, you do find out things. You find out what people don't like, what they do like, what you need to do if you feel that you need to change. I'm not telling everyone to change, but sometimes you have to give a little bit.
Yeah.
You both give a little bit, you can take a little bit. It's how you sort of it's not juggling, it's how you get through with being happy. That's the thing. At the end of the day, being happy, there's, when you go through life and most of your days was like, full of dread, oh, here we go again, this is it, to now like, oh, I'm gonna have a good day today, this is gonna be a good day. It's good.
Yeah, I like the idea of you both have to give. It's like there's this level of compromise between both of you have to come to, because one of the things that I always think about, maybe when I need to bring up something with my girlfriend, is like, I'm telling you that this is the way that I feel about something. This is not me saying that you're wrong and that you're a bad person for this. I may be the son of the bitch in the situation here. Let me know what I've done wrong as well, and then we can both fill up a compromise from that point on.
Yes.
And then also, on top of that, I guess younger people have this idea that relationships are streamlined. Like, if you imagine that this is one of you, this is the other one, you both kind of move at an equal rate, but that's not true. It's sometimes the other one's flying and the other one's falling behind.
Yes.
And then sometimes it's the opposite way around. But it's about dealing with those, making compromises, coming back to each other, which really helps that.
And the thing is, you can't, you have to talk, Vance, you have to communicate, you have to know what's wrong with someone. And I think if you don't say anything and you let it go on and on and on and on and on, then it's going to end up, when it is like, finally, oh, well, you've done this, and you start, like, the hatred comes into it, and you say things you don't really want to say, but you're so annoyed and wound up, and these things have got to come out. They've been stuck in here for so long. You need to get them out. It can come out not
in the
good.
wrong way.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. So why carry them things around with you all the time? That's a weight. It's a weight on your shoulders. Get rid of them. Get them out.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you can.
Yeah.
There's some people that can't. But then I really do think that if you can't verbally, then pen to paper.
Write it down.
Yeah, because then that person has got to read it, but then you're not standing there with that person, if you get what I mean. They've got all the time in the world to read that and for it to digest there.
Yeah, you've also got all the time in the world to write it.
Exactly. And you're not thinking, oh my God, you can scribble something out if you've got a bit of hatred for that. We'll take that one out and then we'll start again. But you can, and if you can, but at the same time, you're getting it out of you.
Yeah, the writing down thoughts is such a great idea, because I know some people may struggle with, like, this is what's going on in my head. I can't get it out verbally. And I guess it's a skill that you develop the more that you're in a relationship with someone. But regardless, if you can't get it out verbally, you can write it down, because then it's reality. Like, it's in front of you.
Yeah.
It's on a piece of paper. So it becomes more tactile.
Yeah, I mean, every morning, Vansh, I get up, I have my coffee and write what happened yesterday from morning to the evening. A lot of people do, like before they go to bed, they do it, but I don't. I get up in the morning and do it. I do feel that helps, because then all them problems have gone. All what happened yesterday are in the book, but I've moved on because today is a new day. And then I just thank God that today is a new day and I'm going to have a nice day.
And that is very cool. And the reason I say that is because when I read a book called Storyworthy, it said that one of the ways that you can slow down time, the perception of time, would every night before bed or every morning, write down from the morning to the night what you did in that day. And that can help, that can, first of all, it gives you more stories to tell, because you actually remember what happened in.
Yeah.
And second of all, because you remember everything that happened today and you're aware of all the things you did, that day feels like it lasted longer.
Yeah.
So I find it so cool that you do that regardless of knowing the reason for it. It's just something that you do.
Yeah. No, it's good, because you can also look back and think, oh, that happened then. Oh my God, that's been 3 weeks since that happened. Do you know what I mean? It's good to just look back now and again. It's good.
Yeah. Okay, so in your entire life, I'm assuming you've had amazing days. You've had really bad days as well. It's been ups and downs. What would your advice be to someone who's going through a string of bad days?
Don't lock yourself away. There must be one friend or one person that you can talk to. Talk to them, because you will probably be amazed at how that can affect you and make you feel. And just that one step will be good enough for you to then to start moving forward. But never rush, take your time. But again, I'm going to come back to, because they've saved me, surround yourself with people who care.
Yeah.
And you hopefully won't get them days.
Yeah, and then guessing being at the gym, that community at Unified is on that spirit.
It's life-changing and game-changing. Yeah.
If this podcast were the last thing you ever did, what's a piece of advice you'd leave to everyone?
Never give up. Ever.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just never give up, Vansh. And just never give up. You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, regardless of age, regardless of the background experience, it's just...
Regardless of anything, anyone can do something, if you put your mind to it, you can do it. So just never give up. Keep going. Sometimes it gets so hard. I've seen it. I've been there. But it comes good again, and it will come good. And you've just got to think good, and it will come good.
Deb Tiernan, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.